Pembrey, which gets underway, and it's a pretty even start from the front row. In fact, it's a better start from Justin Griffiths from the outside of the front row, and as was the case yesterday, Rosser not particularly well away. It's a better start for Jack Dwayne. He's kept it off the grass this time, it seems, as they head down towards Hatchett's Hairpin for the first time. So it looks like it's Griffiths leading about 3 wide on the exit of the hairpin for second place. It looks like Scott Edgar has stolen a march in Class A there for the 182s, number 40, late to the grid, but leading the way in the 182s, Johnny.
We nearly lost Chris Keir all the way down the escape road, but he went very, very wide in the number 22 car and was able to rejoin the track, but lost a handful of places because of that. Great start for Andrew Harding. I reckon he's up to second position here, but nibbling away at the rear is Spencer Stevenson in the black number 12 car, and also trying to regain spots Owain Rosser from pole position down into fourth, Ian.
Yeah, so Stevenson did get that move done at the Brooklands hairpin. He went up into second place then, as the cars go through the fast right-hander at Carter's Curve for the first time in the race. Now through the 90-degree right-hander at Honda that ends the lap, brings them back onto the Cal straight, the start and finish straight here at Pembrey, and they speed their way down. So you've got Rosser in that red car in fourth position. He's going to be keen to make up some ground. He's going to have a look up the inside of Harding there into Hatchett's Hairpin, and he's alongside on the exit as well, but a better drive out of the corner for Harding as they go through Spitfire. So the white number 77 car, the car that was badly damaged yesterday, holds on to P3.
Yeah, Owain Rosser really not very far away though in the red 53.197. Top four possibly breaking away a little bit now from David Walsh, but the fight is on for the head of the order. Justin Griffiths under pressure from a hard-charging Spencer Stevenson. He had a really good getaway from the standing start, just couldn't find the gap between the front row sitters as Owain Rosser gains another spot, so he's up to third position, dispatching Andrew Harding.
Spot quite close between the first two, isn't it? Spencer Stevenson now right with the race leader Justin Griffiths, who started from the outside of the front row of the grid in the number 55 car, heading towards Honda again for the second time. A relatively short lap time this. We have a lap record for these cars for 109.24. That might even go on the first flying lap of the race. Let's have a look to see if it does. Just waiting for that to update on our screens. Yes, it does. It's a 108.12 for Spencer Stevenson in second place, and he now has the lap record. So there we go. Rosser there in third, but look how Stevenson, who's just got that fastest lap and lap record, is nibbling at the heels of the race leader Justin Griffiths, the man who's fifth in the championship.
A sound of tyres being tortured in the background. Big hit on off the curb there for Spencer Stevenson, but he had the better run heading out of Dibeni and towards the crossing. Tighter again. It just looks like that number 12 car all the more manoeuvrable at this stage of the race than Justin Griffiths, who's having to react all the time to the movement of the number 12 car down to the inside of Brooklands. Perhaps no, the door is shut, and this is allowing Owain Rosser to join the party, and a few others as well. Might have 5 for the lead by the end of the lap.
Yep, good group of cars this in the 182. Scott Edgar is in 6th place overall. He's got a car between himself and Alex Hawkins in the number 15 car, who's second within the 182s, and Jack Dwayne, the reigning champion, only third after that poorish start. Big bit of a moment there for the race leader Justin Griffiths as he came through Honda, and we have got 4 certainly for the lead. Walsh not quite with that leading group as they go over the start and finishing line. It's Rosser again having a look, but it looks like Stevenson's going to be a bit later on the brakes than anyone. Down to Hatchett's Hairpin, Griffiths is wide, and Stevenson's going to get the move done. It was really a mistake there from the race leader Justin Griffiths. It might cost him 2 places. It does, because Rosser follows through as well at Spitfires.
I wonder whether Andrew Harding had his arm out of the window, suggesting he might be slowing down on the main straight, but not a bit of that. Heading in and out of Hatchett's, he's well in this scrap, and the second of the white cars then behind the 55 of Justin Griffiths, the former race leader. Griffiths looking up the inside of Owain Rosser to gain that place back again from the red 53, but can't do it through the kink at the centre S's. So they'll arrive at Brooklands Hairpin for the 4th time, and Spencer Stevenson, now he's in clear air, is disappearing up the road. So you could just tell how much pace that he had to unleash during dry conditions. Couldn't show it yesterday in qualifying, and obviously we didn't have a race yesterday, but the challenge is on now for everybody else to hold Spencer Stevenson back.
Absolutely, yes, he's got a pretty good advantage here. Let's see what Rosser can do. Of course, he was fastest in practice yesterday, but in very different conditions to these. The lead for Justin Griffiths at the end of the 3rd lap, then the 4th lap I should say, is 1.5 seconds as Griffiths goes back up the inside of Rosser and takes second place back away again. So he's got that move done down into Hatchett's Hairpin, and now Griffiths is going to have to lead the chase of Scott Stevenson again, but there's 1.5 seconds already to make up.
What about David Walsh, who's trying to attach himself on the back, still a little bit of way away in the silver car. I'm also intrigued at Nick Harrison's lack of progress. He's in Class B, so theoretically the faster cars this weekend. Dropped down as far as 8th, but has gained one of those places back again. Look to the inside for second place. Is there contact? No, Owain Rosser just about managed to avoid that, but he's now got 2 cars right behind him and a change for third because Andrew Harding gains that on Griffiths.
Yes, Griffiths was wide there at Brooklands, and that's allowed Harding to get back up into 3rd position. I think all of that scrapping has brought Walsh back into the equation a little bit more as well. So it's 4 cars for second now, with Scott Stevenson just continuing to extend this lead. It's probably doubled, I would suggest, on that lap. It was 1.5 seconds. We'll get an update on the gap in just a second. Yeah, 3.09, so it has pretty much exactly doubled this time. Leaders, or the second place battle, I should say, down to Hatchets once again. Will make it safely through, pretty much line astern that time around. Look at the window on Andrew Harding's car on the driver's door. That's the door that was badly stoved in yesterday, so that's possibly something that will need a little bit of attention after the race.
Yeah, hence me thinking that Andrew Harding was waving and warning everybody else that he might be slowing down, but it's not him, it's the parts of the car which was damaged yesterday, threatening to break free. David Walsh definitely in this fight for a podium finish. He's in 5th right now, just dropped a couple of tyres on the grass on the approach to Brooklands, which briefly unsettled the car. He's behind Justin Griffiths then, who's in 4th. And in 5th place, Andrew Harding just ahead. Yeah, so the all-white car, the repaired Andrew Harding machine, not very far away from Owain Rosser. But for the race leader, who's about to go back across the stripe, it's an advantage last time around of 3 seconds. It might have extended yet further.
Big advantage for Scott Edgett in the 182 division, but behind him in the 182s, you've got 8th back to sort of 14th, covered by about 3.5 seconds, headed by Jack Dwayne in 2nd position. They've in fact just gone over the line and through shot. They're heading down to Hatchett's Hairpin now. I can see Jack Dwayne has got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cars close in behind him. So we've seen the leading cars go through. There's Scott Edgar, he's our 182 class leader, and the next car you see will be Jack Dwayne there in 2nd position in the 182s. He's just ahead of Alex Hawkins and Tim Bentley and Darren Ransom and Nick Brady among the 182s. 7.5 minutes of the race left to go.
Chris Keir lost a shed load of places on that lap. He was 10th, he's now down in 15th, so clearly had a bit of a moment somewhere. He's in the number 22 car, catching sight of Darren Ransom now, 6th place. Well, actually, that's probably now 11th place and 6th place in class. So he's slowly working his way up the order and has in front of him the red car of Tim Bentley.
Sweeping through Carter's then, that is Bentley in number 4 then at the moment. Behind him, he has the 30 car of Darren Ransom, a little bit of a gap back I think it is to Nick Brady in 12th position. Owain Rosser has just improved his own fastest lap of the race, a 107.38, so he has cut the lead to Spencer Stevenson now. That's down to 2.18 seconds, so will we get a battle for the lead before the end of this race? For the moment, we focus on the 182s, and that's Chris Lawrence, I think. I think he was fully having a battle with Stephen Richardson there, number 7, and he's come out best of that down at Hatchett's Hairpin. That's Lawrence in the number 56 car, and he, of course, was up from the penultimate row of the grid, so he's had a good run.
I like the old school Renault colours on that car, though, of Simon Lawrence, the yellow and red, and blue rather, that have adorned the odd Megane and Laguna in the past. 6 minutes to go, and Owain Rosser, 2nd position in the red car, trying to at least keep sight of Spencer Stevenson, even if he can't catch him. Spencer Stevenson, I reckon, 14th in the championship to this point. So this will be a massive points haul, and if he can go well in today's later races too, he will vault up the championship table. Owain Rosser over the line, got the lead down to just over 2 seconds now, so that is altering very slightly. And managing the gap, the 2nd place man, back to Andrew Harding, who's 3rd.
Yeah, Stevenson didn't do the opening meeting of the season at Croft, hence is down in 14th position, so it's not necessarily reflective of his pace as we watch Darren Ransom and Tim Bentley disputing the final position inside the overall top 10 and 4th within the 182 class, Class A, the original class. Here we watch Andrew Harding. He's in 3rd place with that window in the driver's door askew. Behind him is the 55 car of Justin Griffiths. They're now falling a little bit behind the Rosser car, which again on the previous lap, well, it lapped in a similar lap time to Stevenson on the previous lap, so the gap's still about 2.2 seconds first to second, but now it's a similar gap second to third.
Yeah, with Andrew Harding and Justin Griffiths fighting over the bottom step of the podium. David Walsh has just dropped away a touch.
And the checker flag goes out. Spencer Stevenson takes the victory then, and he does it by about 2 seconds in the end from Owen Rosser in second place. Andrew Harding takes third. Justin Griffiths is in fourth spot, so a slightly shortened race after the red flag yesterday. Oh, and right at the end, Jack Dwayne gets ahead of Nick Harrison. It was side by side over the line between Alex Hawkins and Tim Bentley, and that was for ninth position. There was only 5/100ths of a second between them at the end. Darren Ransom was 11th, Nick Brady 12th, but a win by 1.9 seconds in the end for Scott Stevenson, and obviously Owen Rosser would have been chasing after him. I wonder if it had been the full 15 minutes duration. Obviously the drivers presumably were told it was going to be a 10-minute race rather than 15, and perhaps Rosser always knew that his chase was going to be futile then. Harding third, Griffiths fourth, and Walsh in fifth position. Let's just confirm those results then. Number 12, Spencer Stevenson taking the victory by 1.94 seconds from number 53, Owen Rosser in second place. Andrew Harding, number 77, took third. Justin Griffiths was fourth in the number 55 car. Fifth to number 21, David Walsh. Spencer Stevenson, by the way, has just completed an extra lap, which he shouldn't have done. Sixth to number 40, Scott Edgar. Seventh to number 1, Jack Dwayne. Eighth to 111 car of Nick Harrison. Ninth to 15, Alex Hawkins. And 10th to number 4, Tim Bentley. So Scott Edgar there in sixth place, winning the 182 class from Jack Dwayne and Alex Hawkins. Let's look a little bit further back if we can. And Darren Ransom, number 30, was 11th, and 12th was number 33, Nick Brady. 14th went the way of number 22, Chris Keir. 15th, number 7, Stephen Richardson. 16th, number 47, Ben Swift. 17th, number 49, Tom Stevenson Joyce. 18th was 26, Gareth Tansey. 19th was number 31, Chris Page. And 20th was number 65, Andrew Bento. It looks like several of the drivers have not headed into the pit lane at the end of their slowing down lap for reasons best known to themselves. Right, the race is over though. We will hopefully shortly hear for, well, we're not probably going to hear from either of our class winners because both of them are still out on circuit. Josh will do his best to capture them as they turn into the pit lane exit the wrong way, which is what they're doing at the moment. We'll hear from Josh Barrett in a minute, hopefully therefore with Jack Dwayne and Spencer Stevenson when they make their way towards him. So lots more racing to come today. We've got our first scheduled race, if you like, in a moment, which is the Yokohama Mazda 7 Championship. Then we've got Classic Stock Hatch, we've got 750 Formula, low cost, historic 750 Formula, Mighty Minis, a sprint race, an unusual sprint race for the Gas Shocks 116 Trophy, and the Takiwa Taipar Trophy to round out this morning's action. So still lots more to come on a very busy day, but for now we'll go down to the pit lane and hear from Josh Barrett.
So we're down here with the Clio 182 winner, first of all, which was Scott Edgar. We're hoping to catch up with Spencer Stevenson in a bit after that confusion at the end of the race. So I'll let Scott take his helmet off, and then we'll have a chat with our first winner of a very busy day of racing here at Pembrey, including for the Clio drivers. They've got 3 races. Well done, Scott. The 182 win by quite a long way, though. Made a good start.
Yeah, it was a really good start, and then all I had to do was manage it from there. So yeah, it's a good result.
And you had one of the 197s, I think, between you. Do you think that helped a bit?
Not really, to be honest. Got past him on the start, and it was quite easy to keep him behind. So yeah.
Obviously, a very different day today after all the rain yesterday. How are the track conditions?
A little bit slippery into turn 1, but everywhere else bone dry. So yeah.
And have you had to adjust your driving style, or was that going back to Friday's testing, really?
Yeah, it was exactly the same as Friday. So yeah, didn't take long.
And obviously, now we've got 2 different races within the Clio, so you're really fighting against just the 182 drivers now?
Yeah, pretty much. With the development over the last couple of rounds, they're really gone. So yeah.
It's been a good start to the season. You had a win at Croft and now a win here as well.
Yeah, really good. So really pleased.
And a busy day with 3 races now all in one day.
Yeah, it's going to be tough.
Do you think there's any setup changes, or are you happy with how the car was there?
A little bit, yeah. It was pushing on, so I think we can improve actually.
Well, best of luck for the rest of the race. I think we've got our next cars already on the grid. Unfortunately, won't be able to speak to Spencer Stevenson. Maybe that we'll do that a bit later on. Out next are the Yokohama Mazda 7 Championship.